Well, Stephanie and Tim, the big thing is they just don't know if or how much federal funding will ultimately be cut. But the co-chairs did tell me that if it does happen, it could have some big time impacts on core programs and services offered by the state of Oregon. At the state capitol in Salem on Wednesday, lawmakers cautioned that spending cuts in Washington, D.C. could have a profound impact on Oregon.
That will greatly impact our budget going forward.
Co-chairs of the State Ways and Means Committee presented Oregon's framework budget for the next 2 years with a caveat that things could drastically change if federal funding is reduced. The Trump administration has told states they could see up to a 30% reduction in federal dollars. Approximately 32% of Oregon's $38 billion budget is supported by federal money. It bolsters funding for healthcare, education, transportation, and other programs.
And so it's going to be very, very difficult for us to backfill if the federal government acts to the extent that they've told us they might.
In December, lawmakers convened for a special session to allocate an additional $218 million to pay wildfire bills after a record-setting season for the state. The co-chairs hope to avoid that in the future.
So we'd like to avoid that if we can possibly do that. And this is just a way of sort of plussing up our system so that we can actually pay our bills if we come into an expense that we weren't expecting.
Lieber acknowledges that the final budget could change as the legislative session continues and more guidance comes from D.C.
We have other issues that we are going to be looking at as the session goes forward, but we wanted to make sure that that Oregonians sort of knew where we stood right now.
Well, next up for the Ways and Means Committee, a road trip of sorts around the state of Oregon where they will host town halls and meetings so Oregonians can weigh in on what they would like to see in the upcoming budget. Tim, Stephanie, back to you.
All right, John, thank you so much.